Hello, this is Katie Walker at the College of Education at UAA, and in this video tutorial I'm going to give you some basic tips for working with our ePortfolio tool, eWolf, which is technically called Digication. And from our main UAA website, click Quick Links and you will find eWolf ePortfolio as one of the options. You can also go directly to alaska.digication.com. On this page, be sure to take a look at the useful information, particularly the Folio 411. And also, it's always interesting to look at other ePortfolios just to get ideas for your own. When you click Login, you're going to use the same credentials you use for Blackboard to log in to eWolf. And I'm going to go over just some basics. First of all, you're going to see something different than what I see. I see my own ePortfolios and ePortfolios that I've subscribed to, as well as ePortfolios that I'm working on collaboratively with other people in this list along the left side. And there are some useful things up at the top. So sometimes you're working on an individual ePortfolio, and in that case, you would start a brand new ePortfolio by clicking plus. Now, this is important to notice. There is a new version available of Digication. It's more in pilot stage right now. It's not completely ready. So what I would recommend is that you skip the intro for now and you use the classic. And you can certainly play around with the new version. It's pretty neat. It's very different. It doesn't rely on Flash, which is sometimes an issue with the current classic version of Digication. And so if you ever get an error regarding Flash, then you can try to use a different browser. Also, you can Google Digication helpdesk and find their instructions for how to enable Flash to make sure that you are able to use all of the features within eWolf or Digication in order to add media, etc. So when you create a new ePortfolio, you have to give it a title, and then you may be asked to choose a template if it's a program ePortfolio, or if it's your own ePortfolio, you may choose to just start completely from scratch. But if you click on More Templates and you click on University of Alaska Templates, if you have been asked to create a template, create one based on a template, you will probably find it in this list. When you get down to the permissions, my recommendation is to follow the instructions that you have been given for your class, if it is for a class. And probably that will mean that you will share it with the rest of your class using custom permissions. But it's possible if it was created already for you in a template that these permissions will already be in place. But notice that there are a variety of different privacy options, but in the end, you're going to want to share this with other people, so probably you'll be making it public at some point. Tagging is adding keywords to it. Probably doesn't really matter for most which one do you want to do, so I usually allow tags by all editors if doing a collaborative ePortfolio. And comments and conversations can be useful, again, when you want either comments from the public or you want some conversation within the collaborative group working together on an ePortfolio. So that's up to you. So once you create a new ePortfolio, I'm going to cancel that, then it will, from then on, show up over here on the left side. So you might have to scroll down to find it, but it will be there. If you have been added to someone else's ePortfolio, then you will find it over here. If it's part of a course, you might also go up here and find it. I'm going to use this one as an example. This is a template that is being used in EDFN 302, and you can see that it's just very basic. It's got these 5 topics. This particular ePortfolio is a collaborative ePortfolio where the whole class is working to build this ePortfolio together by adding entries under these topics. So I'm going to go over just some basics, but these basics will be true no matter what kind of ePortfolio you're creating or for what purpose and what audience. The first thing I want to mention is to get back to those settings that we saw when you created a new one, such as the privacy settings and the sharing settings. You can find that under Portfolio Tools. These three buttons are pretty self-explanatory. We're going to be working in the Edit tab, and then we can use the other two to see what things look like. The way that these pages work is that each module and or page needs to be saved and published for it to be available to the public if you make it public. So I'm going to use this as an example. So let's say I want to add something in this section. So I click on the section I want to add to, and then what I can do is add a page. So you can see this has an example here. So if I want to add a page, I click Add Edit, I add a page, and in this case the instructor said use your name as the page name so we know who did what. There are other ways to do that, but this is one way. In some cases, you'll be naming it something that is more of a topic, not your name. So this is just an example. So there are a number of different modules. So you've created your page, but your page is empty. So now you have to put one or more modules on it. And probably the rich text is going to be the most useful, but you can take a look at some of these others and see that they're pretty neat options. But rich text is going to give you the most choices, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that one. When I add the module, it takes just a minute, and there it is. And I can use this module by just typing in. So like if I've been asked to type in a reflection, I would just type it in right here. Or if I wanted to paste it in from something I typed in Word, that would be an option as well. The only problem is sometimes when you have something like a resume with lots of indents and tabbing and things like that, when you paste it in, sometimes that formatting does not hold. So you have a few other options. So in addition to just typing in here, which by the way, don't forget to spell check, you could also insert a file. So if you had a file saved in Word, you would use this document to insert the file. Sorry, this button. So when you click on this button, it gives you the option to choose a file. Now, by the way, this is where you could possibly get an error about Flash. So refer to my earlier instructions to solve that problem, or just simply try another browser. So when you choose a file, I'm just going to pick any file here. This is a document file, and when I insert it, you can see what it looks like. It's a link. So when someone goes and clicks on it, it would open that Word document, download and open that Word document. And there's another alternative, and that is Insert Media. When you click on Insert Media, notice that the file formats are listed here. So a Word document cannot be used. So you simply have to save a Word or PowerPoint document as a PDF to be able to use this feature. And you'll see this feature is a little bit more visual. So again, I'm going to just pick any random PDF for my example here. Notice that it does have the alignment, and you can see from the thumbnail visuals here, that's primarily for images and how you want the text to wrap around the image. I don't have an image, so I'm not going to even bother with that. I'm just going to scroll down and click Insert. Now, when I look at this, I can't really see what it's going to look like. So what I have to do is hit Save. This is not like Google. You do have to make sure you remember to hit Save. And then I'm just going to scroll all the way to the top and click on Preview. And I can see what that looks like. So this is when you insert a file, this is what it looks like. And when you insert media, this is what it looks like. So there's a number of different options. Now, if I'm happy with the way this looks, then I need to publish it. And I do that by clicking Publish this page, or I could just publish one of the modules on this page. However, I only have one, so it doesn't make any difference which one I pick. I'm going to publish all the modules. Now that red bar goes away, and when I go to Published, I can see this is exactly what it looks like when someone clicks on my page. When you have published something, that does not mean you can't go back and change it. So anytime you want, you can go back to Edit. You can go back to Edit again down here, and you could add more, or you could delete something and change it or whatever, or you could even delete the entire module and start fresh with a new module. So those are the basic steps for working with our eWolf or Digication tool, and you can look forward to trying out the new version anytime you want, but notice there will be some glitches with it until it is finalized. So enjoy and hope you have a fun time.